Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the semi-dreary hills of Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the home of the greatest cat in the world, Slamfire. Yes, you've seen him right here, right? More about that later. Glad you're here. It's a wonderful day. It's not too chilly, and yet here we are, moving into November. Yeah, the 10th for you, 10th for me, maybe today. I don't know. We got a rainy week, and I've got stuff going on Saturday, and so I'm a little early this week. But it may get rained out now. That was a drop. Maybe not. I'll talk real fast, shoot really fast. So glad you're here, and you're around this week, and so am I. Thought I would bring out just an old favorite today. Okay, pretty cool. The old Colt 45. The single action. This one made in 1957, when I was just out of diapers, right? And yeah, just a wonderful old gun. Just saw it there and thought, I'm just going to shoot that today and grab that. Something I really enjoy. Yeah, it's hard to beat. Anyway. Appreciate everybody that helps us. Bud's Gun Shop, got 2 or 3 firearms from them in the house right now to show you, and another one coming. And Silencer Central, man, you've seen the Banish line here. You're going to see some more of them. What else? Oh yeah, the Sonoran Desert Institute. Great place for some distance learning on a variety of topics, and they do exactly what they say they'll do for you, and they're a great outfit. So, can I shoot this? Do I have to reload it to shoot it? I think I do. While I'm loading, let me let you know again, we've lost a couple more videos this week. The mini Uzi taken down. Totally inappropriate for you to see, I guess. Been up for, I don't know, years. And then also, oh yeah, no, this one's really bad. I even looked at it. I couldn't figure out what's so bad about it. Taken down, the Maverick 88 video, the first Maverick, Mossberg, or the Maverick 88 shotgun, taken down yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So wow, okay, inappropriate. It's facilitating the sale of firearms. I don't sell firearms. But anyway, they're on Rumble. I'll be doing some linking to those videos. I did it on Facebook, and I'll I don't know, maybe link on these videos, maybe the Sunday videos, anything that's been taken down, or maybe just a permanent link in our description of any video that's taken down. Link to Rumble, where there's a little more freedom and you can see it. How's that? Okay, and some are age restricted. Some more of them age restricted. The AR-15 A2, my classic A2, I bought in '83. The Chapter 2 version of that, AR-15 A2 Chapter 2, age restricted. So again, reminder: make sure you are signed up on YouTube, and you give the proper age, right, so you can see things. But anyway, just a reminder. Wow. Hopefully freedom will return one day. Speaking of that, I hope the election went your way, or do I guess I'd rather it went my way. But anyway, hope you're not too disappointed in the election results. I am really happy in so many ways that it did not drag on and create all kinds of problems and chaos and lawsuits and legal issues and all that. So man, we all, no matter what side of the fence you're on, we all have a lot to be thankful for there, I tell you. Can I shoot this again? Okay, I'm shooting some range dynamic ammo from Fiocchi right here. I got some Steinel and some Underwood I might fire. Let's fire this baby. I popped, what's his name over there? Clyde, and it occurred to me as I was hitting him, I wonder if he might be the first Bigfoot that's ever been killed by a 45 Colt, you reckon? I don't know. Ooh, how did I miss? Wounded him. Spraying out. Oh boy. Oh, nice. Nice. Flick. Doesn't get any better than a 7.5 inch, which is the cavalry model, referred to as the cavalry model. I wonder why. Well, the first Colt single action armies that came out in 1873 were this length. Well, for what, that whole year or two, that was it. That's what they offered. And most of the early ones went to the cavalry or to the army. And so, you know, they're 7.5 inch barrels, so that's why they're called that. They weren't made like differently or, you know, different action. Oh, the cavalry model has a, you know, something vastly different about it. It's the same gun, just referred to that way because it was the 7.5 inch version, the original. And they're easier to hit with. They are in a, I say precise way, but just anything at distance is a little bit better. Sight radius is longer, pointability and all that kind of thing. But they're all good, as I've said many times, right? Stay tuned for the advice for young people. It will involve slam fire. Some bad news. I talked last week about how I don't understand campaigns getting, you know, all revved up and excited about how many people they're able to go out and talk to, try to talk them into voting for a certain candidate or whatever. I heard a bunch more talk this week about door knockers. They're calling them door knockers. You know, that's their term for people going out knocking on doors, you know, campaigning. That last week, they were talking about the thousands and thousands of door knockers, I don't know which party it was, that we had in Pennsylvania or wherever. The door knockers. And, you know, I was reminded of that again. Okay, so don't bother to knock on my door. I'm kind of weird. I might be kind of dumb, but I sort of figured out what kind of country I prefer. And I sort of connected dots, not all that hard, to the person who has policies that kind of help moves in the direction of that sort of country, you know, or whatever. You know, it's not that tough. And so, but anyway, I still stand by that. You know, there's nothing for me at all. And I got to thinking, well, who would that affect? I mean, who does that change? Whose minds does that change? Knocking on doors, and I'm sure it works to some extent. You know, even though I make fun of it, you know, it may work a lot. You know, but who is it that is influenced by that? You know, it's a week of the election, a week before, whatever it is, the day of the election, and so someone knocks on your door from a specific party. Is that why you're going to vote for them? Because one of their people knocked on your door? And was whatever, nice to you, brought you a cup of coffee, cordial, pretty, whatever it is, convincing, I don't know. Is that why you're all of a sudden going to vote for that candidate or change your vote to that candidate? Really? So who are those people? Do we have a psychological profile for those people? Really? I mean, it might be you. I don't mean to make fun of you. When I was younger, I wasn't sure. I wasn't as aware. So it might have been me when I was young. But anyway, it occurs to me that it's mostly that people is going to affect, and that's who they're targeting. The low information, you know, voter, low information citizens or whatever. People who probably don't think critically too much, or they don't keep up with things. They haven't established, I talked about some of this last week, I guess. They have not established yet a philosophy of government, what kind of government you want, how much government do you want in your life, how much control do you want over your life, how much control do you want a government to have, like over social media, the Constitution, or the, as I see it, their job is to enforce the Constitution, make sure the Constitution is upheld, right? But you know what I'm saying. So it's just really interesting. And it's funny, the same day I was thinking of that, I thought I'd bring this to the Sunday table maybe, because it kind of connected. Because I think I was actually driving to the post office, and on the news, they were talking about all the door knockers one side had out there, thousands somewhere, and all this kind of thing. And I was thinking about, oh, wow, really? And then in my mailbox, I had this really official looking letter, and I opened it, and I kind of had a suspicion what it was, but it's a letter to me. Regarding my 2024 GMC Yukon. Mr. So-and-so, this letter is to inform you that if your factory warranty has expired, you will be financially liable for all repairs. And this is in bold, boy. Our records indicate that you have not contacted us to get your service contract up to date. You have the option to protect your vehicle beyond the factory warranty. Please call us at number, before 11:14. I'm running out of time. To confirm your eligibility. And then attention, my name. Please call 188 etc. With VIN and current mileage before November 14th. Our records indicated you have not contacted us regarding the vehicle service contract. Was that redundant? The same thing they said up there. By neglecting to activate your coverage, you will be at risk of being financially liable for any and all repairs after your factory warranty expires. However, you still have time to activate coverage. This may be our only attempt to contact you about activating your vehicle service contract. So, I think someone who is alarmed at this and immediately calls that number is probably the same people that might change their vote or decide to vote, whatever, because someone knocked on their door the morning of the election, don't you think? And most of you get it, don't you? You know where that came from. Did it come from GMC? No. Or the extended warranty company. It doesn't even have the name of the company on there. And we know there's 2 or 3 they're the most aggressive marketers on the planet. And they write things like that really sound official. It's kind of like some of the email you get, the spam, that looks, wow, is that real? Is that really from my bank? Is that really from Amazon? Looks legit, so some things are tough to tell the difference, aren't they? But anyway, I thought, yeah, that kind of connects the dots, and it was coincidental that it was in my mailbox when I picked up my mail after just thinking about that. Yeah, there are people, let's face it, who are kind of gullible, and you can influence them. And if you're a little clever, you can really influence people, marketing. So you have to watch for that, don't you? You have to watch for it. That's just a marketing letter, all that is, trying to sell me an extended warranty. Okay? So anyway, I hope you learned something from that. Can I shoot this gun? Oh, man. Okay. Terrible, isn't it? I'm so let's see, let's shoot something else. Let's shoot some Steinel. That's maybe some Underwood before we get out of here. Hope you've had a good week. And if you're still having decent weather where you live, enjoy it. Get out there and make the best of it. As I always say in the fall, boy, the days are numbered. Some years it gets cold quick and stays cold. Other years it doesn't. My God, a dirty chamber there. How'd that happen? That chamber got extra dirty. I didn't mean to. I wasn't pointing at it. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something lodged in the chamber. That could be serious. Who was it? Was that what happened to the? Was it the? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. The son of the great karate guy that was killed on a movie set. It wasn't from having a live round in the firearm, but when they fired at whatever, the movie action, whatever, there was a squib load in the barrel, or the cylinder, the barrel, I guess. And then when he fired the blank, it blew that out. So it's like almost like shooting a bullet, and it killed him. I believe that's correct. Oh, gosh, what did he? Martial arts expert of all time. Can't think of his name. Oriental fellow. Can't think. But And so that happened, has happened in really, really rarely. There's like 2 or 3 in existence of all the many thousands of movies that have been made. The one I remember, I don't know, most vividly, it seemed like, when was that? The 70s or something? 60s was the guy that he put the gun up to his head and messing around. He knew it was a blank gun, or he knew it was a blank in the gun for sure. And he got it up close to his head and pulled the trigger, and it killed him. Exeter, well, he was a model or something, male model, and then he was an actor too, I think. And he thought he was being funny and didn't realize, actually he was just not being aware that there's a lot of power in a blank, and it went into his head and was into him. So there are some rare occasions, just like the movie Rust and Baldwin and everything, but it's extremely rare because they take pretty much extreme precautions for the most part. All right, so we got her loaded, and let's take a shot. Let's go out to the gong, out in that direction. All right, I love it. Nice. Speaking of range and shooting ranges, don't know when you'll see it. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'll do a Sunday video over on the main range. I've been doing a little repair work on the main range. The main target stand is just falling down. The swinging plate rack is just shot to death, and you probably could tell maybe in a close-up or something. All that with, the post where we set the 2 liters up on either side of the plate rack and everything. Like the one it was just literally bowed like that. I thought it wasn't the post just leaning in the ground. I could have maybe straightened all that up, but it's just wow. And the other one was almost as bad on the other side. And so I launched into that this week, and went to Home Depot, Lowe's, got lumber, and messed around. I spent a lot of time getting it back to kind of where it was. So you'll be seeing that. Again, though, with videos, it's like flipping through time and ended up in a different chapter, isn't it? Because and if you follow the channel and you never miss a video, you see things kind of chronologically. Well, not necessarily. It depends on when we post them. Yeah, because at least on Sundays you do. And then you can tell too if it's a new gun that we got in and borrowed from buds, and we're doing a video on it. It's not too old, you can sort of tell. But anyway, yeah, you'll see the new range. You'll be able to spot a little difference when you see it. Not a lot, because I built the same frame, more or less. Okay, so am I loaded? Yeah, with empty cases. Is there anything else you were dying to know about? Yeah, just again, everything's on Rumble. Where I went back and edited, I thought every video that needed to be edited. I don't know. This video's coming down. They got the AI dogs out there looking for anything, and they're getting tighter and tighter, it appears. So, where is Elon? Elon, buy YouTube. So, I'll load it up. Let's see, I haven't shot any Underwood. Let's shoot some of that. Okay. Nothing like 45 Colt. I love it. So, let me tell you, I needed to do the Sunday video today because again the weather, and I'm going out of town. And I was going to do it. In fact, this morning I was thinking about it before I got out of bed. What do I want to shoot today? That kind of thing. And yeah, check the weather, schedule for Saturday and part of Friday. Yeah, let's do that today. It's going to be maybe clear in the afternoon, and let's just get a gun out. Don't have a lot of other stuff going on today, and I might not. be able to tell you. If not, I'll tell you later. But I don't want to get all broken up. But I lost Slamfire this morning. He was fine. Got up and usual. Him out of the basement. Came around, bopping around, and just around. I was fixing breakfast, and I looked out the window, and he'd been in and out a couple of times, and I know he was lying on the porch. That's the kitchen window. I could see him lying there, kind of in a weird way on the side, And I picked on the window, and then he rolled over, but he acted like he was having trouble, like his hip or something was bothering him, and he couldn't. And I thought, in my imaginations, I went out there and pet him a little bit, and he was lying there, okay. If he didn't move, I went out again, and he laid over on his side like he was sleeping on his side, which is kind of rare, odd. So I went out with a treat and to call him over, and he didn't respond, and I was, uh-oh. And he finally got up, and he couldn't move his hind legs or something, and really at all. And I was, oh no. So I ran him to the vet, and she said, it could be several things. They looked at him, and they did a lot of tests after I left. They sleep for a couple of hours with X-rays and checked heart and all that, because they suspected, was it saddle thrombus? I think it was called thrombus. I always want to call it thrombosis. Saddle thrombus, I think is what it's called. And you look it up, and it's like a blood clot. It's a heart problem, and it runs a blood clot to their hind legs usually, and like paralyzes them, or they can't use them, and then it goes on, gets worse and all that. And I wasn't familiar with it, but said it could be that. We're not sure. It could be other things. Anyway, they did all the testing, and went back over there, and they said that that's pretty much what it is, and showed me all the pictures of his heart, his spine. He had no problems. He hadn't been hit by a car. He hadn't been hurt or anyway, and it was, his heart was very enlarged, and he just in bad shape, the old boy, and which didn't really notice. He seemed a little more maybe lethargic, but he's 11 years old, and just kind of himself, and I didn't notice it. So it all just came out of the blue anyway. The best thing to do, the consensus was, they would take Herculean efforts to even try to improve him or fix him or whatever, and he wouldn't be fixed and all that. So anyway, so we put him to sleep, and in a big old fluffy Slamfire. That was this morning, and so you never know what your day is going to bring. He was such a good cat. I mean, you've seen him in videos. 11 years that rascal's been hanging around me, watching me, and in my lap, and just being a great cat. And I know a lot of you think of him as your friend. You see him in videos and ask about him, and he's just a pretty cat. He's a big old fluffy teddy bear. Great nature to him, good natured. With my grandson, my grandson has known him his whole life, of course, and the 8 years he's been alive. And my grandson was young. He's a little too frisky with him, or how cats are, touch him where they don't necessarily want to be touched, like on the back over here or whatever it might be, not in a private place necessarily. Just cats are funny, but he was always good, and just a great pet. I didn't know, as I've told y'all before, I've had golden retrievers from 1975 until about 2010, I guess, along in there. So I was a golden retriever person. Didn't know that a cat could actually be a pet, or be a desirable animal, as a real pet. I've never hated cats, but him and Boo Boo, the other cat, they're just wonderful pets. I mean, I've turned into a cat man, cat dad. Yeah, and I just I just like him, and I've known a lot of other cats, and to me, because he's my cat, right? He's the best. He's just his disposition. You know, he wasn't a crazy cat, always jumping around. He's just like an old dog or something. Follow you around and watch you get up on the shooting table. That's the reason you've seen him so much. He'd get up on the shooting table out there, we're messing around, setting up, and I'm doing like if I'm doing this stuff here, you know, well, he might be able to just leap up there because he wants to know what's going on. But he just not to mess with anything. He just lie there and he wanted to be there and watch, you know. And that's why at the beginning of probably 6 or 8 videos, I would guess, through the last 10 years or so, you know, he's there. I have to try to remember which ones it is. It's a great way to go back and see the old guy. They didn't really do much video of him just around the place. That's the best video. He's on the shooting table. And I know in one of the Marlin lever gun videos, 44 Magnum, he makes a big appearance. And I think, and maybe I can get original files and get John to cut some together. He has all that, and you know, maybe the best of slam fire or something. And I think it's the 1917 revolvers, the Colt and the Smith & Wesson, maybe a comparison I was doing. I believe that's the one where he's lying in the middle of it all, you know, for the first couple of minutes of the video. But anyway, you've seen him, a lot of you, and he's a good old boy, and it's going to be a big hole. He's left a big hole, and of course it came as a shock. You know, I mean, you know, I was up a little bit later last night than I normally am, so I slept late till 6 o'clock. That's late for me. So I was up and around, and you know, and a little bit late letting him out of the basement upstairs and everything. So I didn't spend as much time with him today, messing around. You know, any other day I'd have been up and eating already, and he'd be in my lap probably. But anyway, he was in and out and around, and just hit him all of a sudden, blood clot apparently, you know. So anyway, end of slam fire. And I guess that's my advice for young people. You know, you just don't know what the day's going to bring. You just have no clue what the day's going to bring. And I've said that before, and any of you that have been around a while, like very alive for very long at all, you know that's so true, don't you? You don't know who's going to be here at the end of the day and who's not. You really don't. It's like what Don Henley said, life can change in a New York minute. And that's kind of what happened. You know, I'm up cooking breakfast for myself. My wife had already cooked, and which is a reversal of the way it usually is. I'm up early and I've eaten and everything time she gets up. But so I'm up at 6, which is late for me, and eating breakfast and cooking that. And actually, I was cleaning up the plate, in the sink when I saw him out there acting a little bit odd. And so I get up at 6 o'clock, and then by a little bit after 8, I'm at the vet with slam fire. And then they said it would take a couple hours for all the tests and x-rays and everything. So I come back home, and I was going to run to the dry cleaners, pick up something and everything, and just thinking about him all the time. Oh man! But they called within less than an hour me back. I didn't even get hardly out of the drive to go to the dry cleaner, and so I drove on over there, and got the word, looked at all the x-rays and talked with the vets, and then was in the room saying goodbye to him as he passed on away, and brought him home, and then buried him, here at the place. And so I'm up at 6, fat, dumb, and happy, making breakfast, coffee, and not thinking about anything like that. But by 11 o'clock that morning, a few hours later, I'm burying slam fire, So you just don't know what's going to happen. So make good use of your time. And slam fire's just an animal, right? If you're an animal lover like me, you don't like to hear that necessarily, but I mean, yeah, you're right. It's just a cat, just an animal, but a great one, and a big part, really, of my life the last 10 years. And good old boy. pretty boy, as you all know, sweet boy, just such a sweet cat. And he's gone. So it's the way that happens, isn't it? So don't take anything for granted, and I never really did. I have to say. I mean, he's on my lap a couple times yesterday. When I'm trying to work, whatever, on the laptop. If he's over there, he comes in, wants to get on my lap, and the other cat's the same way. I'll just set my laptop aside. Well, come on up for a while, and just talk to him, and get him to explain the difficulties in life he's facing or whatever. So I never took it for granted, because I knew they wouldn't be here forever. I wouldn't be forever, and one of us is going to be heading out here in a decade or two, whatever. And so, but still, they're gone. They're gone. Can't get them back. So anyway, Slamfire was a great cat, and I don't know if I'll do something, maybe a tribute, cut some tape together, and I do know a lot of you really admired old Slamfire. Many of you have cats. You really like cats, and never thought I would be a cat man in my earlier life. But anyway, I have to learn to get along without him. I'm out setting up, messing around the range and everything. He's either out there with me or up on the porch watching me, supervising. So don't have a supervisor anymore. Okay. Good old Slamfire. All right, this is Underwood. How about Hog? Quick. So nothing beats a 45 Colt. That's just pretty much a fact of life, okay? As I've said before, 45 Colt, it's so wonderful on so many levels. Talk about a historical cartridge, 1873, and it's a big bore. And if you like big bullets, big bore stuff, it doesn't get much bigger than that, right? In a handgun, unless you have a 50 A&E or something. And yet it doesn't kick too badly. All right, so fun to shoot. And of course, these are extra fun. A Colt or a Colt clone, or a Ruger, whatever, in 45 Colt. Nothing like a single action. So anyway, I'm glad you came out today, and I will talk to you next week. Life is good.